And it's time now to take a look at some of the front pages from around the world. We start with the sheer force of Storm Ciara, which is splashed across the front pages of the German newspaper, the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung. Now, it shows the crashing waves at the English port of New Haven. The UK has suffered gusts of over 140 kilometres per hour, heavy rain and flooding as well. The storm is also causing traffic disruption in Germany, where it has a different name there. It's called Storm Sabine.
Right, we really need to know what's going on with all the weather this morning. Carol's going to keep us right up to date. What's the latest and what can we expect? Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Well, first of all, Lou, this is what we had yesterday. Look at these gusts of wind. The Needles, which is quite exposed, 97 miles an hour. Southampton, 68. But Manchester, 86 mile an hour gusts of wind. That is unusual. What was unusual about Storm Ciara was the duration that the storm lasted and also how widespread it was, not just with wind, but also with rain. Now, for the next 2 days, we're looking at frequent snow showers in the Northern Hills, in Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England. We'll see some significant accumulations of snow with blizzards and drifting because it still is going to be windy. That takes me to the current Met Office weather warnings. You can see they are yellow, but we've got them across Scotland and Northern Ireland for wind and snow, leading to the blizzards on higher ground. Across Northern England, it's for ice and for snow, so equally hazardous. And across Southern England, it's once again for strong winds, gusting 60, 70 miles an hour across the southwest, for example. So still today, a lot of hazards to watch out for if you're out and about. Now, Storm Ciara has pushed off to Scandinavia. There it is there.
Start with the front pages. A storm of the century. It's a popular headline choice for many of the papers today as they look at the impact of Storm Ciara. That's the Metro for you this morning.
And 6 weeks worth of rain has fallen in just 24 hours. Gusts of more than 90 miles per hour have been recorded as Storm Ciara battered the UK.
Widespread flooding brought travel disruption. 65,000 homes remain without power this morning. Commuters are being warned to check before they travel as there are delays to flights and some train services. That is likely to continue today.
Yes.
Let's turn to our main story for you this morning because across the UK, Storm Ciara has brought severe gales and flooding. Wind speeds of 97 miles per hour have been recorded in the Needles in the Isle of Wight. Across the UK, hundreds of flights were grounded, motorways and main roads were shut. Pictures like this all over the place and trains cancelled. Threats of further disruption today as well. Now, at the peak of the storm, 675,000 homes were left without power. Engineers are currently working to reconnect 62,000 customers. And there are 240 flood warnings still in place across the UK this morning. That's a figure that changes quite a bit as well, which means more flooding is expected and immediate action needs to be taken. Now, the worst of Storm Ciara may have passed, but further bad weather is on its way. And Carol is trying her best to stay across what's happened, Carol, over the last sort of 24, 48 hours, but also tell us what's happening today as well. What is going on out there?
That's right, Dan. Well, it's still pretty windy at the moment. Not as windy as it was yesterday. In Cairngorm yesterday, for example, which is high, granted, there was a gust of wind at 127 miles an hour. But you're quite right with the figure you gave out for the Needles. This morning, recent wind gusts, Isle of Portland, 62 miles an hour, Aberdaron, 59, Heathrow, 40. And the Met Office has another weather warning out, a yellow one, for strong winds across southern England. We could have gusts 60 to 70 miles an hour as we go through the course of the day, for example, in the southwest. But that's not the only weather warning the Met Office has issued. There is another one across northern England for snow on higher ground and also the risk of ice. And for Scotland and for Northern Ireland, it's not just snow on higher ground, but also wind. So that could well lead to some blizzards, particularly in Scotland, where we do have lying snow. It's snowing at the moment. We'll see further accumulations above about 150 metres. So still some treacherous conditions out there.
Storm Ciara now, and of all the images posted on social media, of which there were many, one of the most dramatic was a sheep trailer being swept away by a torrent of water.
It ended up half a mile downstream. There it is. It was filmed by Amanda Owen, who's, of course, the shepherdess from North Yorkshire, Swaledale.